Goodwin's delivery, extraordinary. Goodwin to Sutar, 1-0 Australia. Big chance here. Matt Ryan with a miraculous save to deny Tamer Sayab. Well, a perfect start to Australia's World Cup quest as Palestine, who toiled hard tonight, were edged out.
Welcome to WA, where the Socceroos return for the first time in 8 years, looking to continue their perfect World Cup qualifying campaign with a win over Palestine. And what is there not to enjoy about this trip to the West? It's wine regions, pristine beaches, forests, and of course the Quokkas. It's one of the most inviting cities in the world, surrounded by the natural beauty of the Swan River. And it is the city that the Socceroos call home tonight, here at a packed HBF Park. Hello and welcome, I'm Tara Rushton. It is great to have your company. It is great to be back in Perth with a couple of men that call Perth home, the adopted West Australian, Jacob Burns. Burnsy, great to see you.
Thanks for having me, Brett. Great to be here.
Yeah, great to see you. And Stan Lazaridis, I mean, you are Perth through and through. Lazar, great to see you.
Thanks, Tara.
We're looking forward to what is ahead tonight, team. We know that the Socceroos, they've already booked their qualification to the next round. But there's a nice Sandgroper feel about the West Aussies in this squad and who we're anticipating to start tonight, Burnsy.
Yeah, fantastic. It's great to see so many in the squad, and we're going to claim them all, and I believe there's 5, and hopefully we see some minutes in them. But fantastic players, and have done so well. We know some of them well, and to be playing in front of their family and friends, what a night.
Now, how tough is it, Stan? We saw the Socceroos in action over in Bangladesh. You're called from all of your teams. You know that, based over in the UK for a decade. Then over to Thailand in camp, Bangladesh, tricky conditions there, humid. You know, the pitch was well and truly waterlogged. And then back here to Australia. Is it hard to back up?
Well, if you look at the pitch tonight, it's great. So, and that's why you have a squad. So, you know, there's going to be rotations. There'll be a number of changes. But in saying that, any time you want to play for your country, play stand up.
You're exactly right, because you put on that green and gold and you know what you have to do. Well, talking about getting to wear the green and gold, a couple of opportunities we are in store for the squad tonight. Let's hear from one of those players. He's got a big West Aussie connection in Cam Burgess.
Well, Cam Burgess, welcome home. Firstly, congratulations on the success in England. You must be looking forward already to next season.
Yeah, certainly am, but this is a great way to finish off what's been an incredible season.
To the Socceroos then, and when was the last time you actually got to play in your home city of Perth?
None competitively for a senior team, which is, yeah, a bit crazy to think about, but it's, yeah, I'm excited for this one. I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
So with Palestine, a team that you managed to beat 1-0 in the first match, what's the expectation tonight, having qualified? Is it celebration time for the Socceroos?
Not quite yet, maybe after the game. Obviously, we're looking for a clean sweep in the group. We want to go and get 3 points. We haven't conceded any so far as well, so that's another challenge for us at the back. So, yeah, still a job to do.
Congratulations again. Good luck tonight. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, appreciate it. Cheers.
And tonight there is a very West Australian flavour in defence with Perth-born Gethin Jones on the right, Cam Burgess, who we just heard from in the middle, partnering another Sandgroper in Alessandro Ciccardi, who's on the way up to Serie A with Parma. Socceroos stalwart Aziz Bayic brings the experience at right back. Keanu Bacchus returns to midfield. Martin Boyle on the right wing. Matt Leckie starts for the first time in a year on the left. And Adam Taggart, Perth boy and glory hero, who was this season's Golden Boot winner, starts at home for the very first time. Burnsy, your thoughts on this new look back four, especially the centre-back pairing of Cam Burgess, who's on the way up, as well as Alessandro Ciccardi, who you know very well, who's on his way up to Serie A.
Yeah, look, I'm really excited. Firstly, you know, it creates a bit of depth and competition for Arnie to pick from. But 2 fantastic players at club level. Obviously, Burgess going up into the Premier League. We love to see Aussies in the Premier League. And young Ali Ciccardi, who I was fortunate enough to be here as an academy director and a footy director, watching him come through a player's trade, and speaks volumes to the development of Australian football. And, you know, playing for Parma in the Serie A, you'd have to go back to think about the Bresciano and Grellas of the world playing their trade in Italy.
It is phenomenal, isn't it? When you look at that back four, it's Aziz Bayic who's bringing all the experience. But I guess who's bringing all the experience and form is that guy on our screens right there in Ciccardi alongside Burgess.
Yeah, look, he's a wonderful player. His father obviously played for Parma as well. He was always a young player coming through, full of confidence, and you know, the Italian public over there are speaking volumes about him, about his style. They call him the wall of Parma. So I'm sure he's going to offer that here tonight and really stake a claim to hold down that position.
And Stan, to a player who's going to be playing for you, with you next season at Perth Glory, Adam Taggart, the A-League men's leading goal scorer. It's wild to think that he was in the stands watching Socceroos v Iraq last time the Socceroos played here in Perth. But he's had an outstanding season. What a key play, but what an opportunity to show Arnie, hey, I could be your starting striker.
Absolutely. I mean, 20 goals, top professional, works hard all the time. For me, he's the type of striker that he just finds the right spot all the time. He's a bit Tim Cahill-like, where you just have to put the ball in the area and he will do the rest. And so, for me, he's so important for us progressing.
And how big is it when you look at this starting lineup? A host of changes, 9 in total. 4 players to get an opportunity to play with a bit of freedom, Stan, because the hard job just for now has already been done.
Yeah, correct. And in saying that, it shows the depth that we have now. And talking about it, all of a sudden, Suter, Rouse, you look at Geordie Boss, there's so many good players that are not playing. And they're getting rotated. So that just shows for me the strength on the bench that can come on and give Arnie some problems.
Is there a bit of competition when you look at the flanks, when you look at the wings and those attacking players? Matt Leckie, we saw him towards the tail end of the season for Melbourne City coming back into form, but he's been out of the international fold for a really long time. And then Boyley, I mean, he was being asked around his future at club level because of the game time that he's having.
Yeah, and you know, to reiterate what Stan just said, you've got game changers on the bench. You know, you've got competition for places now. That's what you want. That's what breeds a healthy national team. Guys that know that they're under pressure, know they have to perform, and know that if they don't, someone else can come in and take that spot.
To Palestine now, team who have been so courageous in their history-making run of late by reaching the knockout stages of the Asian Cup for the first time in history. That came earlier this year, and then more recently, team like the Socceroos booking their place in the third round of World Cup qualifiers. That for the first time ever after securing it was 2 wins v Bangladesh, 2 goalless draws against Lebanon, and 1 defeat that did come at the hands of Australia. Look, what they're doing is utterly courageous against the backdrop of what they are playing against. 8 changes in total stand tonight against the side that drew 0-0 to Lebanon just a few days ago. So, a la what the Socceroos and Graham Arnold is doing, an opportunity to see what these players can do and what they have in very difficult circumstances.
Absolutely, and they've come a long way. And as you said, they get to play tonight in a free way. So, again, the coach can have a look at what's on the bench, who's going to stand up and show what they've got. So, you know, it's very similar tonight for both sides. But for me, it's a game of opportunities tonight for some of our players to really stake a claim.
Bernsey, Palestine did not make it easy for the Socceroos in their last meeting. It was 1-0 just. Matt Ryan was called into action. It was a jammy goal in the end. It could be a really tough night out. Beautiful conditions here at HBF Park nonetheless. Yeah,
look, I'm sure it's going to be, and Arnie would be priming the guys. You could hear Cam Burgess in the pre-game chat with Harbs. They're expecting a tough game. They know that they were very organised. They know that Matty Ryan kept them in the last game, so they're going to come out and they're going to try to play and put in a good performance and make sure they get another win.
And what about a player like Michel Termini, who comes in, we know that he has those attacking runs forward, to perhaps give the Socceroos something to think about?
Well, look, he bombs on that right. So we've got Bajic, and you know Bajic, he's got like 2 hearts. He keeps running all day. So for me, I think that's part of the reason why he's playing, to nullify them.
Absolutely right, and he brings all of the experience at left back as well. All right, we are off to a short break here live from a rocking HBF Park as we gear up for Palestine v the Socceroos. And on the other side, we sit down and we hear about the stars, Jackson Irvine, Connor Metcalf, who are on their way up to the Bundesliga. Don't go anywhere.
I think St. Pauli is considered a cult club because of course, the fan base, but primarily because of the values of that fan base and the club.
They believe very strongly in what they believe is right.
Football's for everyone is the primary value of the club.
We have a very strong voice when it comes to things that are important.
I think that's why it's got that status kind of worldwide and has such an appeal to so many people. You know, while I was a free agent just at the end of my time with Hibernian and I was, sitting with my girlfriend and we were kind of talking about possible options moving forward for us, and she just turned to me and said, "Can't you just go play for like that punk club? That like cool punk club?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And then 2 weeks later, I get a phone call from Pauli. So sometimes it's meant to be.
Pauli run out 3-1 winners here to confirm that they will be playing Bundesliga football next season.
Obviously, they love Jackson. He's the captain, and I think he's literally the perfect person for St. Pauli, with just the way he is. Obviously, there's times where I do struggle and, I miss home, but he's always there to just make sure I'm all right, and yeah, it's like a big brother, to be honest, so it's quite good.
I was the first Australian to play for St. Pauli, and then just like that, you've got another one, and the fact that we're there together, playing national team together, it's I think everyone's embraced it really, really well. First and foremost, I think they enjoy our characters. I think Connor in particular in the last 12 months has been a huge fan favourite in a lot of ways. The way he approaches football and his general demeanour makes him he's of course a very likeable guy as it is.
When we look around the stadium, there's Australian flags there. There's even an Aboriginal flag in the stadium. So I think, there's a little soft spot for me and Jacko.
Well, the future is looking well and truly bright for this current crop of Socceroos. You heard from them there in Connor Metcalfe and Jackson Irvine on the way up to the Bundesliga, and having that camaraderie, right? The both of you went over and plied your trade abroad such a big time at Leeds. You had those teammates in Dukes and Cool alongside you to give you that support. And as well, Stan, it does feel like, and you were one of them leading the charge as well, one of those incredible Socceroos players. It feels like there's another wave coming when you look at this squad.
Yeah, look, for me, it's the depth that we have now. And, watching that about Metcalfe and Irvine, it's just creating memories, friendships, and you've got your teammate there that's brothers in arms. But for me, it's that sort of thing that drives you on and spurs you on.
Is it making this team better, Burnsy? Because there's a couple of photos and trips down memory lane for you, Teddy Sheringham, Figo. I mean, look at these players. This week in, week out has got to be good for the national team. And some good memories there.
Yeah, I would like to see the after photo. It's making me and Stan feel very old, reaching for the hair dye these days. No, they're wonderful memories, and just like we saw with Connor Metcalfe and Jackson Irvine, they're wonderful memories, like Stan has mentioned, with teammates like Dukes and Harry, to be able to share them together, playing against the biggest clubs in the world and the biggest names in the world. Looking at Stan here, touching up Ronaldo because he couldn't get near him.
How about that?
Yeah, they're fantastic, and you're right in saying that. It's creating depth, it's creating competition. There seems to be something in the air and a bit of a wave coming with, guys maybe playing in the Serie A next season, or are playing in Serie A, the Bundesliga, in the Premier League. That's what you want. You want to see your Aussie players not only overseas but playing in the top leagues of the world.
Sorry, what an incredible trip down memory lane it was for the both of you. Great looking physiques, hasn't changed one little bit. Ronaldo, Keane, Stevie G, Frank Lampard. But one big thing it does, Stan, is it starts to open the doors.
Yeah. Oh, look, just looking at that footage, sometimes for guys like Burnsy and myself, you forget that was you. And it reminds you that was a special time. And so for these guys, they're creating this new era of quality players, not just good players, quality players. And for me, we have got a really bright future ahead. And I like the way we're playing, the style, the wingers, we're direct, the crossing, we've got focal points, we've got real goal scorers, and you've got that engine room, a bit like how Burnsy played, where you've got Irvine, Metcalfe, Bacchus. We've got players. So for me, it's really encouraging.
So
we were just never that cool. We never looked that cool anyway.
You absolutely did. You could do a painted nail in a high bun, for sure.
That's right.
But with that being said, around the way that Graham Arnold has changed things up, playing more direct, having all of that depth on the bench, how does tonight play out, Burnsy?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Arnie's now, being the coach of the national team for more than 60 games. He's really stamping his authority and his style of football. I think it steers us in good stead. I think that we've got wonderful players, as Stan mentioned, attacking players, direct players, and I'm looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, look, and I'm hoping an exciting, attacking, free-spirited game. Hoping the Socceroos can take it out 3-1.
3-1, bold predictions, a beautiful night here at HBF Park as the Socceroos return back to WA for the first time in 8 years. That night, Adam Taggart, who's leading the line tonight, was sitting in the stands watching the Socceroos defeat Iraq. We are off to a short break. You won't want to miss a thing. On the other side, the national anthems, and then it is over to your commentators, Andy Harper and Simon Hill.
Night for the Socceroos. Football never sleeps, football never stops. It's 1-0 Australia.
Brandon Barilla doing it for Australia.
And hits it, what a strike! But never ever right off the Socceroos. Yes, the Socceroos return to Perth for the first time in 8 years, and they do so with their second round group already won, on the back of 5 consecutive victories and not a single goal conceded. In fact, Australia's now won 17 consecutive matches at this stage of qualifying, a record that stretches back to the loss to Jordan all the way back in 2015. And they must start favourites again this evening against a Palestine outfit that has also made it through to the third round for the very first time. The Socceroos, of course, won the corresponding fixture last November. Harry Sutar's winner, the only goal Palestine have conceded en route to that historic qualification. All on the back of reaching the round of 16 at the Asian Cup. And for a nation that hasn't played a proper home match since 2019, that is quite some achievement. We'll confirm the starting lineups for you shortly. Changes for both teams with one eye on the final round, the draw for which will be in Kuala Lumpur on June the 27th. For now, as the teams line up, we will take a pause for the welcome to country, to be followed by the 2 national anthems.
For those who are able, would you please be upstanding for the national anthem of Palestine? Please remain upstanding for the national anthem of Australia.
Well, what to make of Palestine? What a journey they have had in recent months. A team drawn largely from the diaspora around the world. But what a job they have done in taking their national team to the round of 16 at the Asian Cup. And now the final round of AFC World Cup qualifying. The team news: Graham Arnold makes 8 changes from the side that defeated Bangladesh. Only captain Jackson Irvine, goalkeeper Joe Gauci and striker Kusini Yengi survive. Western Australians Alessandro Ciccati, Gethin Jones, Cam Burgess and Adam Taggart all start, as does Martin Boyle, who has been linked with a move to Perth Glory next season, although he remains under contract at Hibs. Matt Leckie wins his first cap in a year. Kai Rolls and Mitch Duke have both left camp. Apostolos Stamatolopoulos and Paul Izzo stand by for debuts off the bench. Now 8 changes for Palestine as well. It could be a back 3 with Michel Termanini, scorer of that crucial 94th minute winner against Bangladesh that all but ensured qualification. One of 3 central defenders, along with Mohamed Salah and Yasser Hamad. Chilean-born Camilo Saldana and Jonathan Zorrilla return. Omar Faraj leads the attack as he makes his first start after winning 2 caps for Sweden. Goalkeeper and captain Rami Hamada is the only domestic-based player. He hasn't played a club match in almost 12 months, given the security situation. Graham Arnold taking charge of what is his 70th Socceroos game across 2 different spells. It's the first time, though, he has led the team here in Perth. And there is Makram Daboud, the 51-year-old Tunisian, a former goalkeeper who has lost just 3 competitive matches during his tenure with Palestine. Referee tonight is Khalid Salah Al Turais from Saudi Arabia, who took charge of 2 games at the Asian Cup in January, including that crazy 3-3 draw between South Korea and Malaysia. So it is Australia in their traditional green and gold that get us underway, kicking from left to right on your screens in the first half. And Andy Harper alongside in commentary. And given that both teams have qualified halves, this could be fun tonight.
Well, it could well be. The Socceroos, listening to Graham Arnold, of course, with still more building blocks to put in the campaign in Palestine. Well, massive congratulations to them, reaching their own new heights. Final stage of qualifying for the World Cup. They've not been in that rarefied territory before, and they've proven just how difficult they are to beat.
And they're looking to launch the first real attack here. Camilo Saldana. And crossed into the box, or at least that was the intention from Mohamed Rashid. Palestine will go again. Saldana. Turn by Jonathan Zorrilla. Rashid all the way back to Mohamed Salah. Palestine very strong defensively, Harps. The problem is that they don't necessarily score too many goals. They're building quite nicely here again. Omar Faraj, Stockholm born. His first cap in stoppage time against Lebanon. Australia struggling to clear their lines here. Matt Leckie trying to break clear, but quite able to do so. Now he'll get a free kick, and that little bit of pressure is relieved on the Socceroos.
Yeah, Palestine have built the success of this campaign, as they did through the Asian Cup, where it should be noted they took a goals lead. Here's the foul on Leckie, looking to burst away. In that round of 16 match in the Asian Cup against Qatar, the eventual champions of Asia, only to lose late by 2-1. But this campaign has all been built around defence, and just don't concede goals. Australia, in some estimation, an unconvincing and lucky win. Maybe when they beat Palestine 1-0, Matt Ryan had to make a couple of saves.
Well, there's a little collision there, and it's a penalty. Wow. Yasser Hamad colliding with Aziz Bayic inside the box, and the Saudi referee had no doubts. Penalty for the Socceroos.
Well, Aziz Bayic threw into the box. This is a VAR-free zone. I can't see that being a penalty, to be honest.
It's a little harsh, isn't it? He tries to pull the foot away, if anything, but I guess he is committed, Yasser Hamad. And the referee certainly didn't hang around.
No, he was straight into it. Some observations of that might have been that it was a coming together of players without it necessarily being a foul, but the referee clear in his decision. Koscielny Yengi has very quick to pick up the ball, not having a chance to put it on the spot at the moment as the protests continue. They'll all be for naught, of course.
Well, Palestine hugely irritated by that award, which they feel is a little unjust, but whatever the case, the referee's mind is made up. And Koscielny Yengi, as you rightly point out, Harps, is very quick to grab the ball. Of course, he's scored in consecutive internationals and is looking to build his case to be Graham Arnold's first choice, number 9. Although, of course, he's one of 2 with Adam Taggart today. Now, Rami Hamada did save a penalty against Hong Kong China at the Asian Cup, and he's giving Koscielny Yengi the eyes. Let's see if that little bit of kidology works. Yengi taking his time. And the goalkeeper gets the right way, but the kick was too good. And Australia lead after 4.5 minutes, thanks to Koscielny Yengi, who scored now in 3 consecutive internationals.
Well, a bouncy start for the Socceroos. Their first attack. Aziz Bayic adjudged to have won the foul on that occasion. Referee points to the spot. Decision stands despite the protestations. Koscielny Yengi hits it too strongly. Rami Hamada did get a hand to it, but Koscielny Yengi helps himself to another international goal and sets Australia away here.
Well, it's only the second goal that Palestine have conceded in this second round of qualifying, and both have come at the hands of Australia. And all that probably Harps after Palestine had made a decent start.
Yeah, bright start from them, and they'll keep fighting from here. And they're really in a good space at the moment as a team. Don't concede goals, and it's only against Bangladesh that they've been able to score goals as well, Simon. So that test remains from here as it was at kickoff.
Here is Zorilla, who missed out on the Asian Cup squad due to inaction at club level. A lot of these players, of course, have had to try and find clubs overseas. I mentioned that the domestic league has not been in action now since last October due to the situation in that part of the world. So all of these players, bar the keeper, are with overseas clubs. That's a handy ball floated in the direction of Islam Batran. He just couldn't reel it in.
That was a really nice ball. It's an excellent run from Batran in behind Burgess and Jakarta. Smajic had to track him in. But really, in the end, it was the Palestine striker whose touch evaded him. Otherwise, he would have asked a pretty testing question of Joe Gauci.
Here's Alessandro Jakarta forming an all-Western Australian central defensive pairing with Cam Burgess this evening. It's good tracking back by Keanu Bacchus, who returns to the team today, freshly signed for Mansfield Town in England's League One from St Mirren. It's always been his ambition, of course, to play in England, and he will get his wish, where his club boss are going to be Nigel Clough. Let's hope he's as good as his father in the technical zone. Here's Martin Boyle. Low cross, but swept away by Termanini.
So let's hope Bacchus becomes as good as Nigel Clough. We'll have a piece of that.
Well, that too.
Not that there's any paternal link there, of course. Familial link, but it's a great move for Bacchus, and another of his dreams realised. His career is taking shape nicely. Good season with Mansfield Town, and the Andor club could find themselves in more elevated company. Just look at Cassini Yengi with Portsmouth.
Yep, he'll be in the English Championship next season with the club from the south coast of England. Lots of players in this squad earning promotion over the final weeks of the European campaign. Here's Gethin Jones, who just missed out on promotion with Bolton Wanderers. They lost the playoff final to Oxford. Here's Burgess, and Bajic, and Leckie. It's well defended in the end. And Yasser Hamad, not the first time he's complained so far tonight. Not happy with Matt Leckie.
Just on the topic, Simon, of players coming and going outside of the boundaries of our national team, there's going to be some big news in the A-League men's comp. In the next day or so, I'm anticipating former Japanese international Hiroki Sakai set to join Auckland.
Wow. Breaking news.
Breaking
Scoot
news.
Harper.
Breaking news.
You're at it again.
Oh, well, you know. Well, I think that is really exciting.
It's a terrific move. Yeah.
Auckland setting down a marker. See what the response is around the place. That's that. Back to International World Cup football here at HBF. What a great setting. Beautiful, beautiful conditions. The pitch immaculate, and it's a world away from where the Socceroos had to do their business against Bangladesh.
Yeah, that was a tough 90 minutes. Just 3 shots on target. Fortunately for Australia, 2 of them counted. It's a cheap giveaway by Cameron Burgess, and Palestine looking to launch one over the top. Farawi picks up the loose ball, worked wide by Omar Faraj. Looking for the 1-2 down that right-hand side with Islam Batran. Before Aziz Bajic slid in. Islam Batran, who made that very clever little run in the early part of the game. He's one of those players from Palestine, one of many, up to 30 I'm told, who've gone to Libya to find club employment. Plays there for Al Ahly. Jackson Irvine looking to play in Matt Leckie. He and Yasser Hamad having quite the battle down that right-hand side. Yasser Hamad, incidentally, a former junior at Athletic Bilbao, is actually born in Spain. Boyle almost slipping the ball through. It might yet break for Adam Taggart, who would love a goal on what is his home deck. He has to settle for a corner.
Well, by Taggart's standard, Simon, this one, a little bit of a surprise maybe, but it felt quite nicely to him. Overly easy, but still within his remit. Realises what a great chance that was to score for his national team in front of his home crowd.
Still the corner to come once the referee's ready. Ahmed Mahashna and Cameron Burgess keeping a very close eye on each other. Martin Boyle's delivery, cutting across the ball and headed wide in the end, I think off the head of Chakati.
Yeah, I think you're right. They've got a huge advantage, huge opportunity there, the Socceroos. It's a low trajectory. well defended by Palestine. They just got some numbers around the key players for the Socceroos. And amidst the difficulties of Bangladesh, that set of conditions was really tough for the guys to do their thing. Nevertheless, when they did get the ball into the penalty area, I think the crossing, generally into that final third, the crossing was a little substandard, finishing to match, notwithstanding how difficult the rest of the set of circumstances were for the Socceroos. But the freshness here, fast pitch, beautiful playing surface, lovely temperature, really should spur the home team on.
By the way, you'll notice the Socceroos are playing in black armbands tonight. That's to honour the memory of Dr. Siri Kanangara, former national team doctor for many years, and former national team goalkeeper Ron Lord, both of whom recently passed. Our condolences to all their families and friends. Two important members of the national team in years gone by. Here's Chakati, looking to launch one for Bajic, but out comes Rami Hamada. Chakati's header, but it's went straight at Islam Batran. Ken Burgess there to tidy up for the green and gold. Burgess, who's about to become the 8th West Australian to play in the English Premier League as of next season with his club side Ipswich Town, if selected, of course. Luongo will be the 9th. Or vice versa, whichever way you want to slice it. Bacchus. Bajic trying it low, but Mahashna was there for Palestine. Good feet. And Palestine could be away here. There's nobody in the middle, but the runners are arriving now. If the ball is good, it's not bad. Really important challenge by Chakati. And Gethin Jones was in there as well to deny Mohamed Rashid an equaliser.
It's a fantastic move upfield, and it's just a heavy touch from Mohamed Rashid. Unfortunately for Palestine, Chakati stretching in brilliantly to save. Hallmark of the defending that has helped his team qualify for Italy's Serie A next year. Brilliant stuff. Although Australia rather porous on the counter-attack defensively. I think it was Aziz Bajic with a pretty tame attempt to deliver the ball upfield and into the Australian penalty area to attack the Palestine goal, and quick as a wink. Palestine were away.
Bacchus quickly advancing into that pocket of space. Time for Matt Leckie. Couldn't quite pick out Taggart. And Palestine looking to spring forward quickly again, but Islam Batran just bouncing off Ken Burgess. He's an awkward customer to get around.
Minus a pogo stick or some turbo charges in your boots is almost impossible to get around Cam Burgess or over.
This is Alessandro Chakati, who began his junior career with Perth Glory, for whom his father Gianfranco played many years ago. It is Chakati's ball, which is a beauty as well, but it came heavy off the chest of Adam Taggart. Burgess. Bayet showing. Lecky going in field instead for Bacchus. Boyle having to try and catch up with the ball. Palestine doubling up. Saldana almost got himself in a spot of bother. Set long by Zorilla. Jones. Irvine. Well, Australia thought they had a corner, but instead it's going to be a foul on Mohamed Salah.
Martin still thinks it is a corner. Not in there. I'm being the Martin Boyle school of thought on that one. He takes his position. Free kick to Palestine. It's pretty crisp movement from Australia, which has been good, but technique on some occasions has led the team down in the attacking third, and some pretty desperate defending. Outstretched legs, Mohamed Salah. Termanini is cutting out crosses, cutbacks. Palestine looking pretty energetic on the counter-attack, making for good viewing.
It's a really good piece of play, that, by Cassini Yengi. Cushion the ball onto his chest to pick out a teammate. This is Aziz Bayet, who's not played a lot of club football of late. Of course, he's been on loan to Al Nassr, Cristiano Ronaldo's club in Saudi Arabia. He made a handful of appearances after picking up an injury. Drifts rather tamely behind. There he is. Aziz Bayet, winning cap number 71 tonight, which moves him past the great Peter Wilson, Harps. And Jackson Irvine, by the way, moves level with Peter Wilson tonight on 70.
Yeah, it's I mean, they're impressive numbers. Really impressive numbers.
Boyle has managed to stay on side. Can he reel the ball in? Not quite. He's a little bit coy, Martin Boyle, on the prospect of coming back to the A-League. He obviously wants to play in Australia at some point in his career, but
he's made that clear.
Does have a year to go on his contract at Hibs. Whether he's trying to force the issue or not, only he knows.
Well, new boss at Hibs, and they might be looking to free up some space in the dressing room. It's not a bad audition for Boyle, not just playing into the same ground, but of course the new football boss at the Glory, Stan Lazaridis, is in the house, of course, contributing to the coverage. Great Socceroo. This football's lucky that Stan chose football. He could have played cricket. Well, he was playing cricket for the state team as a youngster. Maybe slinging those fast deliveries down would have been something the national cricket team got hold of, but we're grateful he opted for football. When asked, he said, the answer's simple: I love football, I didn't love cricket.
Gethin Jones. Another one who's sort of back home tonight, born in Perth, relocated to Wales at the age of 3. I'm sure all these WA players have got plenty of family and friends watching them in the stands tonight. See, controlled by Bayet.
I tell you what, those long diagonal balls, his right foot out to the left flank from Jakarta, works of art.
Just his second cap tonight, Alessandro Jakarta, and his debut against New Zealand last year. Very much one for the future. That's why this game, I guess, is so useful in so many ways for Graham Arnold. With nothing really at stake in terms of the result, he can have a look at a few different combinations, a few different players.
Well, the next round of qualifying starts in September, and the European guys whose successes we've all celebrated, they'll only be a few weeks into their new season, so they'll have a pre-season, which is short, and then a couple of league matches before the September World Cup qualifiers start, the final round of qualifying. The Socceroos will be drawn in one group of 6, 3 groups of 6 from Asia, the top 2 from each group on the home and away tournament, go through to the World Cup.
And of course they're hoping that South Korea might just slip up against China. They're also in action today. If they were to slip up and Australia claim victory here tonight, then Australia would overtake the Koreans and have, in theory at least, a slightly easier final round draw. Ball from Rashid was a little short, and Lecky's onto it, setting himself nicely, but Palestine scramble well. Still there for Boyle. Bacchus. Well, that's a really good intervention by Saldana. Gets Palestine moving forward, and Farage will get the throw-in off Chakati.
Big opportunity for Australia. Lecky winning the ball in the duel and then not really bursting into the penalty area. There was a laneway through to the goal. He only half went through it before cutting back onto his right. There, just opted to cut in rather than drive through, and was surrounded by the retreating Palestine defence. The second effort at goal broke down in the passing sequence that followed.
Isn't a particularly good ball forwards, and it might open the door here for Australia. It is Martin Boyle with the cutback, and Taggart wasn't going to miss from there. 2-0 for the Socceroos. This is his manner. It's his first international goal on Australian soil, and it had to come in his home city. 2-0.
That's a great moment for Adam Taggart. Well won in midfield. Matthew Leckie intercepting the pass. Taggart instinctively helping the ball over to Martin Boyle. Had his own opportunity to go for goal, but just took a breath and realised that Perth Glory's marksman and Socceroo hero now at home, Adam Taggart, was bearing down on the near post. Nice control from Martin Boyle. Tees it up for Taggart, and his second sighted goal isn't going to come up empty. He nails the finish. And what a great moment for Adam Taggart.
Last season's Golden Boot winner in the A-League, with his first international goal, not just at home, but his first in almost 5 years. His last one was the winner against Jordan in 2019, which was the last goal that Australia scored before the pandemic hit the world. Yengi's offside here. And a great moment for him. He's had his ups and downs, Adam Taggart, but the move back to WA has certainly paid dividends for him and for Australia. This is Mohamed Salah looking for the long ball forward. Chakati is there. Farage then got front position. Nifty footwork from Bacchus and from Leckie. Australia warming to their task. I mentioned how infrequent the visits to WA have been in the past. That first game against the Soviet Union in 1975 Australia's only loss in WA came against Ghana 20 years later, 1995. All told, this is just the 6th international they have played in Western Australia, which seems a very low number to me, Harps, given the fact that this is game number 600.
I think some of the great players have come out of here as well. I completely agree. And I think to break that cycle, maybe we should be paying due credit and homage to the state government here, who've decided in their wisdom, and we support them for it. Maybe other administrations that have preceded them haven't shared the vision, but they've certainly started to show a realisation of the value and importance of this game at club and national team level, and good on them for doing it. It's some huge nights here in the last Matilda's visit with the Asian Cup qualifiers.
Just the slightest of nudges from Gethin Jones. He thought it was a bit soft. Here's Michel Termanini.
Now, this is strange territory for Palestine. It's not often they go through half of football having conceded a couple of goals. Indeed, 90 minutes, they just don't concede goals. They've just got an iron-trapped defence. Australia have breached it. They've looked very fluent at times tonight, Australia. Good goal, the second one. The first, perhaps a little contentious. The penalty award after 4 minutes. Palestine have had a couple of moments themselves. Really, the Socceroos look to be in good nick.
This is Moussa Farawi looking to send the ball forward, but only Cameron Burgess there. Irvine. Yengi for Bacchus. Taggart. Saldana with the interception. And Zorilla continuing the charge. For Moussa Farawi. Only partly cleared by Burgess, and was there a foul on the edge of the D? And Zorilla. Palestine looked hopefully at the referee, but no whistle was forthcoming. Joe Gacci spotted off his line. A cheeky effort from Hamid Mahajna.
Yeah, certainly worth a look from Mahajna. Gacci not to be troubled. Although he did fumble the ball as it came through.
Australia keen to get on with the free kick, but the official wanting it taken from the correct spot. Australia having built their 2-goal cushion. They want to make it 11 clean sheets in 13 internationals. This is great work from Bacchus. The cutback's not bad either, but just evaded the 2 runners. And now Moussa Farawi. A little flick inside for Batran. It's good football by Palestine. They can play. Farawi. Oh, and then a poor touch by Mahajna. Somewhat slows that momentum. Saldana. Back through Michel Termanini. Yasser Hamads. And Termanini with nowhere to go, but all the way back to his goalkeeper. They just had a little glimmer of an opening there, Palestine. Might do so again as Zorilla finds space to turn, but needs better quality than that.
Yeah, disappointing outcome. It's the status of the game too, Simon, which is clearly helping both teams show plenty of themselves. There's no requirement from Palestine to drop back into and congest their own penalty area as soon as they lose possession, because they've secured qualification to the next round, and they're clearly looking to see, in an experimentation sense, how expansive we can be. And they're playing forward, they're committing players forward, perhaps more so than they might in other more normal circumstances, and that's obviously providing some space in behind the defence, which the Australians are really enjoying. And they're looking like breaching that defence again. It's been a pretty sharp performance from the Socceroos. Really nice ball movement. Some pretty telling running off the ball and clever runs in behind the elevated defensive line. It's just made things very, very watchable. And then these turnover positions. Look at how quickly Palestine look to commit players forward.
Now Mahashna is onside, and his teammates galloping to keep pace with him. This is Islam Batran, and the shot had all the sting taken out of it. And Chakati wants to continue the conversation with the linesman, who he feels should have put his flag up.
Yeah, it did look a rather obvious offside to me, but what has been a recurring theme from Palestine, on the 3 or 4 occasions they have got into the Australian penalty area, there's been a hesitancy to shoot in the first instance, and almost falling into the trap of trying to make too sure of things. The opportunities don't stay alive for long in international football.
By the way, Harps, another good block from Chakati.
Oh, he's been excellent. Really enjoying watching him play. He's showing a full array at the moment.
Bacchus had to shift it on quickly. Lecky. Australia looking to go through the middle, but it was very crowded in there. Here's Zorilla. Batran, and with that nicely again, Palestine. This is Omar Faraj. Well, that was a high-risk ball, wasn't it, in the end?
Just so far again, he's running out of that little bit of inspiration and quality when they've got the moment. They've turned Australia around, moved the ball through the lines of the field and have been able to get at Australia, just haven't had that quality at the end of it.
And you can hear the Palestine fans, and there are plenty of them inside the stadium, cheering on their team. Some 45,000 people of Palestinian descent are estimated to live in Australia. I reckon a fair few of them are here tonight. This is Jackson Irvine. Burgess. Bajic. And Chakati. Gethin Jones. Patient from the Socceroos. Whilst we have the opportunity, we should perhaps also congratulate Kevin O'Neill, former Socceroo. I think the oldest living Socceroo, who's been awarded an OAM in the honours list a couple of days ago. 99 years young. Remarkable.
Talk about making a bloke wait.
That's true. They got there in the end.
And that's the main thing. And big congratulations.
Rami Hamada has been beaten more times in this first half than he has been in the entire second round of World Cup qualifying. Palestine have certainly tried to throw a few punches the other way as well. Down the line by Moussa Farawi, but nobody there for the Lions of Canaan. That's a long diagonal searching ball from Chakati for once doesn't find its range. This is Mohamed Rashid. He probably had Palestine's best opportunity before it was snuffed out by Chakati. Zorilla works it wide for Farawi. The cross deflected and Batran trying to lift it over the defender. They appeal for a corner, Palestine, but they're going to be disappointed. Now, a ripple of applause breaks out around Perth Rectangular Stadium in honour of the late Dylan Tombidis. As the banner says, gone but not forgotten. And the Socceroos, as mentioned, partnering with the Dylan Tombidis Foundation tonight, of which I am a proud ambassador, into research and hopefully one day a cure for testicular cancer. Bacchus maybe just caught a little late there by Ahmed Mahajna. He's going to get the first yellow card. He's only just back after suspension, Mahajna, after being sent off against Bangladesh. He was just a little bit late and a little bit high on Bacchus.
Yeah, pulled his boot away, though, importantly. It wasn't comfortable for Bacchus, and it wasn't the heaviest of contacts, certainly the way the tackle was initially shaping up.
Yengi. Ahmed Rashid, fully aware of Adam Taggart's presence. Hassling and harrying Terminini. That's what you call defending from the front. It's kept Palestine pinned in and forced them to go long. Good pressure from the Socceroos.
Yeah, that's very good. And Bacchus has been really energetic out of midfield, which has been important. Had a good first half.
It's a lovely ball by Irvine. Good touch as well by Boyle. Yengi on the turn, there's no flag, surely three. It is, it's a double for Cassini Yengi. A little look to see if the flag was going to go up, but it didn't, and Australia are 3 clear.
Well, this will be really interesting again on the replay. See Cassini Yengi's position. It's a lovely, lovely ball, as you called it. Even that one looks like it might be offside. And Martin Boyle, one's waiting for him to actually shoot from here. Can't tell on that angle. And he shows great composure, all things considered. Cassini Yengi, unerring from the spot, and now unerring from 7 yards. Twists and turns beautifully, and then fires the ball under keeper Rami Hamada's right arm and into the near post. In at the near post, I should say, to make it 3 for Australia. A very, very fruitful first half for the green and gold.
2 goals for Cassini Yengi, 2 assists for Martin Boyle, and an awful lot of consternation on the Palestine bench. They are furious that goal has been allowed to stand. And I'm with you, Harps. Had we had VAR tonight, and we don't, of course, that might well have been offside.
Well, I'm reasonably confident. In the one replay we saw that Martin Boyle had broken the offside line. The Cassini Yengi one, which at live speed looked a little more obvious, might have been closer, but at any rate.
Well, Makram Daboub is just trying to calm his own technical staff and substitutes down.
Hard to tell. In that sense, for the match officials' judgment to stand.
Here's Farawi. Quite have enough of a trick to get around Aziz Bayic. There's Farawi, who plays his club football in Egypt for the National Bank, and is one of only 350 from a tiny African community in Jerusalem, where he hails from. Apparently only 350 in the city, and he's one of them. Palestinian team, Harps, really is a melting pot, isn't it? So many players from different parts of the world, but all with that strong link with Palestine. With under a minute of regulation time to go in the first half. The scoreboard suggests they've been blown away by the Socceroos. I'm not quite sure it's been that emphatic.
No, no, Socceroos have been good.
Yep.
A couple of contentious calls. Palestine, who've looked decent going forward, haven't been that used to it. And they're obviously changing the way they play in this game, playing with house money, as it were. The job of qualifying for phase 3 is done. They are smarting, clearly, by the reaction to that third goal. They're smarting, and a couple of the decisions.
3 minutes of time to be added on, or a minimum of. I wonder whether Makram Daboub throw on one or two of his bigger hitters in the second half, the likes of Ode Daber, Musab Al-Bata. By Boyle. As for Australia, I'm pretty sure, Harps, that Apostolos Stamatolopoulos will be hoping to get the call and make his debut on the very day that Newcastle Jets announced that they have new owners. Yet to be formally ratified, but the announcement has been made.
Well, I would share in a lot of people's delight to see Stammer get a start as a green and gold. He's a great player. He's had a wonderful season.
A little bit careless from Leckie. Saldana. Zorilla. Mohamed Rashid. Another cross, well, more of an angled pass really out towards Farawi. Hashna couldn't quite dig it out. Steadied down by Bacchus for Australia. They have pinged the ball around quite nicely, the Socceroos, helped by a good surface.
Yeah, indeed, and a team that wants to play aggressively against them as well. They've shown a willingness to try and get in behind the Palestine defence. It's been good to watch. Cassini Yengi, Martin Boyle's been pretty dynamic down the right-hand side.
Cassini Yengi with the step overs, in comes the cross, and that will be an Australian corner. Lucky just trying to guide it into the goal. First touch off Mohamed Rashid. Boyle's corner, looking for a hat-trick of assists, of course. Whistle's gone in favour of Palestine. His 3 first-half goals make it 20 without reply in the second round of qualifiers for Graham Arnold's team. And what is the perfect setting in Perth. And there we go, close to the perfect half of football, really, for Graham Arnold. His team leads by 3-0. Cassini Yengi has got a double, one from the penalty spot after Aziz Bayic had been fouled. Adam Taggart with the other goal, 2 assists for Martin Boyle. Bit of contention about 2 of the 3 goals, whether it was a foul for the penalty, whether Martin Boyle was offside before he crossed for Cassini Yengi to score the 3rd. And Palestine will continue to argue about that as they wander off into the dressing rooms, and we're left with a half-time scoreline of Australia 3, Palestine 0. We're off to a quick break ourselves. On the other side of it, join Tara, Stan Lazaridis and Jacob Burns for their thoughts on the first half. Don't go away.
Return to Perth for the first time in 8 years, and what a return home it has been tonight at HBF Park, which is absolutely heaving. 3-0 the score at the half-time break. Goals all across the park. Cassini Yengi heavily involved, and Adam Taggart, the hometown hero, scoring his first goal for the Socceroos here at home. Hello, welcome back to Tara Rushton. Great to have your company, and a big warm welcome back to Jacob Burns and Stan Lazaridis as well. Overall team, it's looking pretty good for the Socceroos. A great crisp performance here in Perth.
Yeah, look, they've looked fantastic right from the get-go, particularly up front with Taggart and Yengi causing lots of problems. Wonderful goals, as you've seen. There might be some kind of question marks over the first penalty, whether it was soft or not, but like Stan mentioned when we were talking, you've got to get yourself into some areas to be able to earn the right for the referee to make a hard call.
No VAR tonight. Yep. A pretty soft call when you're looking at it in slow motion over and over again. But Cassini Yengi, I mean, he steps up to the spot and he doesn't miss and has been heavily involved in this first half, Stan.
Yeah, look, and we've controlled the game from the start, and the early goal kind of just calmed us down and allowed the game to flow. Taggart, as we talked pre-show, just superb. And also the back line. Good performances from Chikati, Burgess, very solid. Good energy from Bayic. Overall, you can't ask for more. 3-0 up, and it'd just be interesting to see what Arnie does second half.
You forget here, Cassini Yengi in real life is a man mountain. He is a giant human being. Beautiful feet, so short and sharp in front of goal.
We were saying that in the break, his physicality, his strength, but I think he surprises defences with his quick feet, like he did take that 3rd goal. Incredibly smart to think that quickly. Most strikers would have just put their foot through that on the first attempt.
And really, Palestine have only had one shot on target, Stan, haven't they? So the Socceroos have done a fantastic job.
Absolutely, and that chance, to be honest, Chikati got the block in. So overall, I think Australia have played excellent for the first half.
All right, we are off to a short break. More coming up on the halftime break on the other side. But at the moment, it stands 3-0, the Socceroos over Palestine. Celebrations all round for the Socceroos so far. 3-0 at the half-time break. High fives. Martin Boyle, well, he was really selfless, passing the ball into Adam Taggart. And Cassini Yengi, well, he is well and truly on on fire. It's been 4 goals for him in his last 3 games. So how do the Socceroos go on with it? To Burnsy and Stan Lazaridis, looking at the Subway subs, who do you potentially want to come on, get their opportunity? Do we see a Socceroos debut? What do you think?
Well, we touched on it earlier. We talked about the depth that this team has, about some of these wonderful players and game changers that come off the bench. Personally, I'd like to see Daniel Arzani come on. I think he's had a fantastic season at Melbourne Victory. He seems to have grown and come out of his comfort zone. He's someone that I'd love to see go at the defence here tonight.
What about for you, Stan?
Look, it's got to be Stamatolopoulos for me. I love watching him this season, and maybe we can rest Yengi and bring him on. He's a bull up front, and I tell you, him and Taggart would be awesome.
I was going to ask you, so who does Stammer come on for? You know, what is that dynamic duo up top?
Well, look, Yengi's played quite a bit, and it's not so much the right partnership. It's just a matter of nurturing some of the players, resting them when needed. And I think Stammer deserves his go, so I hope he gets a run.
Bring it on. Will we see a Socceroos debut for Apostolos Stamatolopoulos? We are off to a quick break, 1 minute, and kick-off is on the other side.
Well, those Palestinian fans are having a good time, even if their team is not particularly having the best of times on the pitch. Australia leading by 3-0 at the break, halfway to making it 4 consecutive victories and just 1 loss in the last 13, albeit that loss, of course, was a painful one. A 2-1 defeat to South Korea at the Asian Cup. As for Palestine, they are not just in the 3rd round of Asian World Cup qualifying, but by dint of finishing second in Group I, they've also qualified for the Asian Cup in 2027, which will be their 4th consecutive tournament on the regional stage, as have the Socceroos as well, of course. Now, it doesn't look like either coach has made any changes at the break. I'm sure that they will come. There is Camilo Saldana, born in Santiago, of Palestinian descent. Actually played once for the Chilean under-20 team against Uruguay in Montevideo. Another one of the Palestinians playing his club football these days in Libya. So Palestine in all reds, kicking from left to right in this second half. And Andy Harper, thought we might have seen 1 or 2 changes at the break, but Graham Arnold keeping his powder dry.
Yeah. He'd expect it to be that ceremonial 60th minute or so. But it was a good first half. The players wouldn't want to come off. And Graham Arnold has spoken about the depth in the squad and the amount of competition, therefore, that there is for places. Players responding to that challenge, particularly at the centre of defence, with another imposing shadow cast by Harry Sutar, not starting tonight. But Burgess and particularly Chikati have been excellent.
There is Chikati with the latest intervention, setting Martin Boyle away down the right, trying to get past the defender, but well, he did create the angle. The cross wasn't particularly good. So it's Islam Batran for Palestine. This is a little bit short for Yasser Hamid. And he did his teammate a bit of a favour in holding up Matt Leckie. Back in the Socceroos team today for the first time since he appeared against Argentina this time last year. Plenty of injury problems, of course, in between. Rather disrupted domestic campaign with Melbourne City scoring just the 1 goal, which, strange enough, came at this venue against Perth Glory. Good to have him back in the international fold. attentions of Omar Faraj. Give it away by Chakati. Jackson Irvine quickly snapping the gate shut defensively for Australia. Keanu Bacchus is going to become the first Australian into the book for that rather late challenge on Jonathan Zorilla.
Yeah, put in the bog by heavy touch from Adam Taggart. That was opening up for Australia down the right-hand side. Taggart's touch was heavy, really compromised Bacchus. Yellow card understandably shown by the referee.
Sort of an occupational hazard in the role that he plays in the team. It's his third yellow card of this second round. Joe Gauci out to catch the ball. Some rare work for the Aston Villa goalkeeper, although he's yet to appear, of course, for their first team. Number 3 at the moment, behind Eni Martinez and Robin Olsen. I'm sure next season he'll be looking to make progress and change that ranking. Touch by Lecky. Bajic. Oh, it's a dangerous ball in, and that deflection could easily have turned into an own goal off Terminini. In the end, it's just a corner.
Well, the attack was set up really nicely from Matt Lecky, actually, at full stretch, touching the ball on to his former Melbourne City teammate, Aziz Bajic. And Bajic is really dangerous from that sort of area. The defence retreating, running towards their own goal. He squared the ball really tantalisingly through the penalty area, and the deflection might have gone in for an own goal.
Instead, it's produced this corner, which Martin Boyle slices across into the box. It's a good punch away by Rami Hamada, under serious pressure as well. Bacchus. Lecky. To keep it away from the clutches of Mohamed Salah. Bajic. Jones. Chakati. And Burgess. It's all a little bit tight in there for Boyle. Well stolen by Yasser Hamad. This is Moussa Farawi. Handy ball, that. It's an inadvertent touch from Islam Batran that favoured Cam Burgess, and then he has a little chop out at the Socceroos defender, which clearly was a painful one. Still limping Cameron Burgess. Be a bit of retribution coming Batran's way, I fancy, in the next few minutes, Hubs.
Well, it was the assistant on the near touchline who got the first sound out.
The direction he wanted that ball to go in. Burgess sweeping in behind. Good use of the body from Taggart, and Boyle is away. Yengi, the decoy, trying to open it up on that right-hand side for Matt Lecky, but well read by the goalkeeper. Also, lightning quick counter from Australia.
Terrific from Taggart. Again to set that up, and Boyle skipping through with great freshness. Couldn't find the pass. It was an ambitious effort. Might have been better served to have played the ball down the line to Cassini Yengi.
Boyle stealing it away from Farawi, getting his team further up the field for a throw. Among those watching in the stands tonight, Socceroos regular number 1, Matt Ryan, not involved in this squad. In his off-season break, of course, from Azad Alkmaar. Rumour is he might be moving on from there in the off-season. Graham Arnold just taking the opportunity to rest him. He's got a bit of a knee problem as well, Matt Ryan. So Joe Gauci getting his opportunity. I don't think there's much doubt as to who's the number 1. Nice little flick by Leckie. Not his first in the second half, and Yengi's speed takes him clear. Big chance for 4. They're queuing up. Martin Boyle couldn't miss. Adds a goal to his 2 assists, and Australia have a 4-goal cushion now. Beautifully worked.
Well, in all the games we've watched Palestine play recently through Asian Cup and World Cup qualifying, they've never played this high as a defence. And Australia have really loved it. The movement across the line, brilliant. The ball from Cassini Yengi, incisive. The unselfishness from Taggart on his home ground to bag a brace. You couldn't have blamed him for shooting if he chose that. But he played it magnificently to Martin Boyle, who gets his reward tonight. 2 assists and now a goal, and 4 for Australia. On that occasion, Palestine cut to pieces.
It's his 9th goal for his country in his 29th appearance. His first since the Asian Cup. That scoreline makes for very happy reading, I'm sure, for Graham Arnold. On the back of a lot of changes tonight, albeit that Palestine have made changes as well. Again, the Palestinians were asking about an offside flag that didn't arrive. Maybe less clear-cut than for the 3rd goal in their minds. But that high defensive line is causing problems. Leckie too strong for Saldana. It's a good second half so far, Matt Leckie.
Yeah, very busy. Really warming to the occasion. The Australian team. On the back of a good first half. They've been even better this second.
Boyle, the 1-2 with Bacchus. That's a very clever touch from Martin Boyle, which very nearly opened the door for Cassini Yengi. They'll go again. Irvine ignores Leckie for the first instance and then chooses the Melbourne City winger. Burgess. Irvine's made one of those runs from deep, but doesn't quite drop for him. And a goal kick. And they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah, as they should, playing really nicely. There's a great freshness about the team. And Taggart with a goal and an assist. Gicardi, part of the West Oz contingent here tonight, doing exceptionally well. Cam Burgess is also from Perth as a kid, really enjoying playing on their home dunghill.
Leckie. Bacchus, and Boyle's in again here. Martin Boyle trying to chip the goalkeeper. Hamada trying to save the day, and he does so just. Brave goalkeeping, and brave too from Adam Taggart, who's picked up an injury as he threw himself at that ball.
It was a lovely through ball from Bacchus. Going for the cheeky little chip was Martin Boyle, and as the ball dangled tantalisingly there, Taggart thundered in.
Well, he got a whack to the head on the way through as well, Adam Taggart. Very heavy collision. And Taggart will want to continue. He's had such a good season, particularly here in Perth, and he'd love a goal at the shed end of the ground just to round it all out. But credit to the goalkeeper, who got the slightest of touches on Boyle's cross and then threw himself at the ball. Helped out by his defender. It's a sore one for Adam Taggart. Almost the same combination, Harps, in reverse as for the fourth goal.
Yeah, indeed. The movement across the front by the Socceroos has been one thing. The willingness, the ability of the player in possession of the ball to reward that run, to find the space, to split the defence has been compelling also.
Socceroos substitutes. Warming up, Josh Nisbet there. We are going to see the first changes made by Palestine. Omar Faraj to be replaced by their main man in an attacking sense, O'Day Dabert, who plays his club football in Belgium for Charleroi and has scored a few goals for them in his debut season there as well. And Mohamed Rashid, who had a good chance for Palestine in the first half, takes his leave as well, to be replaced by Ahmed Sawafta. Adam Taggart still a little bit proppy on the back of that challenge. Whether he'll continue or not is in the hands of the medical team. I'm sure he wants to. Graham Arnold just got to have a chat with one of his goal scorers tonight. Yeah, and I think that's probably the wisest thing. If he's got a bit of an injury, there's no point inflaming it even further. So Australia just down to 10 for the moment. I wonder if that means a debut for Apostolos Stamatolopoulos. We'll see. He would be the natural replacement off the bench for Taggart. This is Moussa Farawi. The new players, O'Day Dabert, who really made himself a hero at the Asian Cup. Scorer of 3 goals, including one against Qatar in the round of 16, which they lost narrowly by 2-1. Just seen Apostolos Stamatolopoulos being given the high fives from the bench as he prepares to make his international debut for his country. Connor Metcalfe is with him as well. It's going to be a double change for Australia next break in play. Bajic. Bacchus. Bowled over by O'Day Dabert. Jones. Little pocket of space for Irvine. Burgess. Bacchus just a little bit short with the return pass. Forward by Jones, good touch by Irvine. Tim Boyle not quite able to control it. This is Sawafta, one of the new introductions. Signed for a club in Jordan, Al Salt. Terminini. Hashna. Forward by Rashid, but just a fraction shorter. Matt Leckie, who's been right on his game in the second half, able to nip in for Australia.
And it's certainly that register, intercepting those balls. Coming through from defence into midfield, Palestine, he's been razor sharp. No Lecky.
Still the Australian substitutes waiting for the ball to go dead. Australia played a good 2 or 3 minutes with 10 players here. Bacchus. We're told Keanu Bacchus will be the other player to be replaced, along with Adam Taggart, when the changes finally are made. With Conor Metcalf taking his place in midfield. Maybe that's just with one eye to the fact that he is on a yellow card as well. Don't want to risk a send-off, and that's in the opening game in round 3 of the qualifiers. Now finally the ball goes out, and here's the big moment for Apostolos Stamatolopoulos. About to become the first Newcastle Jet to represent Australia since Dimi Petratos in 2018. Keanu Bacchus also taking his leave. He's replaced by Conor Metcalf. Oh, what a season Apostolos Stamatolopoulos has had for the Jets. 17 goals, and he scored at this venue to kick things off in round 1 against Perth Glory of the A-League. All capped off with his first game for his country. It's a great story, Harbs, because he's had a very up and down career.
Yeah, and it's up at the moment. It's a magnificent night for Apostolos Stamatolopoulos. He's shown real class this year as a Newcastle Jet on a consistent basis. He's shown that ability over the years, of course, but he's put it together, and the circumstances at Newcastle haven't been altogether that easy. And the status of the club's ownership, etc. Robbie Stanton, the first-year coach, did a brilliant job with the guys, and Stamatolopoulos really responded, and now he's a Socceroo.
And remarkable to think that 2 of the top scorers in the A-League this season just gone came from 2 of the 3 bottom clubs. Stamatolopoulos with the Jets, and of course Adam Taggart with Perth Glory, who finished rock bottom. 2 changes for Palestine. Hamid Mahajna replaced by Mohamed Darwish, the number 23, and Mohamed Zaidan replacing Jonathan Zorilla. Mustafa Zaidan. Did I say Mohamed Zaidan? Apologies. He's another one of the big hopes for Palestine, Zaidan. Not just because of the surname either. He plays in the United Arab Emirates for Hatta at the moment. This is just his 2nd cap. But he came through the academy at Aston Villa in the English Premier League. Very highly rated, creative midfielder. There's another one that's played a couple of times at full level for Sweden before making the shift. See if those changes make a difference for Palestine.
Well, they've been totally nullified in the second half. They showed moments in the first half, Palestine. They really did. Australia too good, and even better in this second half. The Aussies have really closed the door defensively. And they've looked very dangerous going forward.
First involvement is going to be a yellow card. It was a heavy touch that led to the ball going loose, and Conor Metcalf then lunged in a little bit rashly on Saldana. He's barely been on the pitch a couple of minutes.
Actually got the ball first. It's the case he makes to the referee, but the line of sight of the referee didn't see that. Saw the contact opponent. That's the yellow card.
Termanini threads the needle for Saldana. Lackey again was chipping away at the back of him. Darwish for Mohamed Rashid. They're looking for the ball over the top. And maybe that's not a bad tactic for Palestine, because Australia really have shot off all those gaps in midfield.
Yeah, that'd been excellent. But Burgess and Jakarta have been excellent. If the midfield of Australia has been breached, they've been wonderful tearing.
Jackson Irvine nipping in. Boyle having a turn and chase. Yengi. Nobody really had full control for Australia. This is O'Day Dabert. With a ripple of excitement amongst the Palestine fans when he gets on the ball. Another change for Australia. Martin Boyle has had a really good outing. 2 assists, 1 goal. And the Perth crowd hugely excited to see Nestori Irankunda in what will be his final appearance on Australian soil before heading off to Bayern Munich. Meantime, though, here's O'Day Dabert and a chance for Palestine. It's fired over the top by Mustafa Zidane.
Choukhati in the way again. Closest Palestine have come, certainly in the second half. Really, it's the first shot on goal. Even though they had some good sights in the first half, they never actually got to the point where they took the chance to shoot, but they do on this occasion. And Choukhati again in the way, glancing the ball over the goal. Corner resulting.
Yeah, an important touch from Choukhati. Zidane's corner. Irankunda desperate to get involved in the action. This is Farawi. And I think Choukhati got a kick to the face there. Accidentally. Australia also feeling that Kusini Yengi might have been fouled. This is probably Palestine's best spell in the second half, but it ends in a rather disappointing cross, which is plucked out of the air by Gauchi. Choukhati still putting his hand to his face every few seconds, just checking that the nose is still in place. Forward by Burgess, but a good steal by Yasser Hamad. And he and his teammate so often rather got in each other's way. Yasser Hamad now playing almost as a centre forward as Palestine go in search of what would be their first ever goal against Australia. Qualify that by saying first goal in the modern era. There was some B internationals against the Palestinian team back in the late 1930s, but not really the Palestine that we recognise today in terms of the makeup of the squad. It's an important intervention by Bajic. Good perseverance by the fullback. This is Farawi. Dabert. Corner ball.
Well, it's a good period for Palestine. some of the changes for Australia have just taken the momentum slightly, and for Palestine, their changes have just given them a little bit of a charge. Burgess with the block. Dogged defensive work of Aziz Bajic couldn't ultimately get the ball clear, and it's now this corner for Palestine.
But always delivering. It's great work again by Matt Leckie. It's been terrific, but Palestine get the ball back. Darwish's cross loops up in the air. Certainly the best period that they've had in the second half. Yasser Hamed's cross, and Ode Daber. It's well wide in the end.
Australia comfortably seeing that pressure away. Imagine they now can get back to what they were doing so well. Palestine are pushing players up from the restart, looking to force the issue. The 4-goal concession of Palestine is not knocking them off their particular course for the game tonight. Already having qualified for the next round of the World Cup process. They're about seeing how they go in a stretched field, playing a bit more aggressively, a bit more expansively.
Now, Australia committed some numbers forward in that attack, and Jackson Irvine is forced into that challenge, which will earn him a booking. They were just a little bit stretched there when they turned the ball over the Socceroos.
I just wonder, to continue your theory, Simon, of the substitution of Bacchus, because at least contributing thinking. He had that yellow card. Metcalf and Irvine now on yellow cards as well. Do they get protected from here?
Here's Daber. Well, he's certainly given them a different dimension, hasn't he? Palestine's main man in attack.
Well, he's just shown a willingness to shoot. They've been very shy in that front, but here's the challenge that attracted the card for Jackson Irvine, and then this was his form at the Asian Cup. We saw it in Qatar, in a team since then that hasn't really gone about scoring a lot of goals at all. He's been the most direct. He's shown his worth here again this evening since coming off the bench.
Well, he's the all-time leading goal scorer now with 16 and 38 appearances. He scored a few for Charleroi in the top flight in Belgium as well. In 27. Still just 25, so probably a couple of years away from his real peak. There's Irankunda. Australia barely had the ball since he came off the bench. Terminating. Yasser Hamed, Moussa Farawi. Official crowd figures just gone up, 18,261. Almost a full house here in Perth. Bajic. Just didn't quite have enough weight on it for Irankunda.
They've worked that pattern tonight, however, the Socceroos. Well, didn't quite come off then, but they've tried it and succeeded plenty of times so far tonight.
Well, Palestine could be in here. A little stumble inside the box at the crucial moment for Palestine from Hamid Sawafta. Rojeffa took a deflection which took most of the sting out of it from Mustafa Zidane. But the changes have brought much more of a threat to the Australian goal. as yet for no reward for Palestine. Burgess. Jackson Irvine surveying the scene. Chakati. Lofted ball for Leckie. Can't get around Terminini. Shepherded it out towards the touchline. Rashid looking to hit Stubber. Chakati is there for Australia. Turned over by Irvine, rather carelessly. Farawi. Stubber, willing runner into the channel, through the legs of Iram Kunda too. Good turn and shot from Mustafa Zidane. And they work that well, Palestine.
That's very productive period of the game for Palestine. Over the last 10 minutes, they've been the team that have been forcing the chances. That's probably their 4th shot on goal. A couple of corners besides. Actually not really troubled, but the point is they've worked those spaces nicely. It's not in that sense that Australia have slackened off. They're still working really hard to win the ball back, the Socceroos, particularly in that little transition phase. There was a clutch of green and gold. Chasing hard. Palestine managed to play away and get the shot on goal.
Jordy Boss and Cammy Devlin are being lined up as Australia's next changes. Palestine are going to make one as well. Samir Jundi standing by. Into the final 10 minutes in Perth. It's been a very productive evening for Australia. Just a couple of reminders in the last 10 or 15 minutes. In the final stage of qualifying, they are not going to have things all their own way. And of course, there will be a step up in level against some of the top teams from the continent as well. All eyes on that draw in Kuala Lumpur on the 27th of June. As Australia bid to make it to a 6th consecutive World Cup finals, which incidentally Harps kick off 2 years today. He trying to drive through, and he was caught there. There's no whistle for the foul, and Leckie stays down. Australia might be advised to put the ball out here, which they do. Here come those changes. Islam Batran to take his lead for Palestine. Samir Jundi, another one of the players who plays his club football in Libya for Al Ahly, will take his place in the changes for Australia. Cassini Yengi, who's certainly done his job tonight. 2 goals, 1 converted from the penalty spot. 4 goals in 3 internationals now. And Matt Leckie, who just picked up that heavy whack, but who otherwise Harps has had a terrific second half, is the other man to have his number called.
Yeah, excellent tonight from Matt Leckie. As usual, such a consistent performer, consistent at an extraordinarily high level. Cammy Devlin takes the stage, as does Jordy Boss.
was here Geordie Boss scored that brilliant goal, wasn't it, for Melbourne City? Decline by Terminini. Irvine first, the loose ball. Stamatolopoulos, who's struggled really to see much of the ball since coming off the bench as Adam Taggart's replacement. Story, Irankunda has got into a more central role alongside Stamatolopoulos. In the wake of those changes, Graham Arnold trying something else a little bit new. Bajic. Chakati. Devlin to Irvine. Now Boss. Ferrari just got a toe in, which prevented further progress. Lovely feint again from Mustafa Zidane. He looks a real player, doesn't he? Number 8 for Palestine. Was the coolest customer inside the stadium with Stamatolopoulos bearing down on him. Great feet.
Yeah, he's a really good goalkeeper. His feet too, as we saw then. Stamatolopoulos really hard to put him under pressure.
Metcalf. Loose ball favoured Cammy Devlin. Stamatolopoulos hoping the ball would sit for him. It certainly does for Nestor Irankunda. Here he goes, drives it across and earns Australia a corner, and the crowd were on their feet there for a trademark run from Nestor Irankunda, albeit without the finish. Socceroos corner, just under 5 minutes remaining. Metcalf's delivery in towards the near post. Whistle's gone, handball. He's pointed to the penalty spot again, the referee. Nobody inside the stadium, I think, knows it yet. They do now. And he's explaining to Rami Hamada that there was a handball in there. Makram Daboud is hugely unimpressed. But he's pointed to the penalty spot for the second time tonight. Khaled Salah Al Turais. Let's have another look. That outstretched arm, and it's the same player who gave away the first penalty, Yasser Hamad.
Yeah, well, that's
it's a really good spot, you have to say, by the ref.
Eagle-eyed. Really eagle-eyed. You wouldn't say that that was intentional from the defender, but in the modern interpretation of handball, that's a great pick-up from the ref.
So, Nestor Irankunda, who took responsibility late on in the season for Adelaide from the penalty spot and missed, again steps up and this time sends the keeper the wrong way. Here come the backflips. The first, we hoped, of many international goals for Australia for Nestor Irankunda.
Well spotted for the penalty by the referee here. And well taken from the spot. from Nestori Irankunda. He just whacks it with a really nice angle. Keeper goes the wrong way. And away goes what hopefully is going to be a long and fruitful goal-scoring career for the Socceroos for Nestori Irankunda.
Well, his football talent is incredible. His gymnastics talent is not bad either. And I'm sure we'll see that many more times in the years to come. Well, we said it might be fun tonight. I'm not sure Palestine would agree.
Yeah, look, they'll be really disappointed with the scoreline. They'll be more disappointed with a couple of the decisions that resulted in a couple of goals. But they've played with an openness we haven't been overly familiar with as viewers of Palestine's national team. And they look like they've got a few gears through which they can go, if needed. Fancy that they might have to play that game at least partially on occasion through the next round of qualifying for Australia now. Round 3 of qualifying awaits. They couldn't really enter that phase and enter the draw in better nick after this home win. Really polished. A couple of tests they've had to pass as well.
It's not going to be Australia's biggest win in the second round of qualifying. There's still a bit of time to go yet, because they hit 7 against Bangladesh. We're about to tick over into 3 additional minutes. Kunda just catching Mohamed Salah. Arnold and René Meulenstein can reflect on a job well done. And the changes have given Arnold some nice selection headaches ahead of the 3rd round, which will start in September. Time for a consolation for Palestine. They've certainly contributed tonight. At the moments, particularly a period after they made some changes in the second half, when they really took the game to Australia. Didn't quite find the end product. It's, of course, a learning experience for a lot of their players as well. A whole host of regular first teamers to come back into the team. Mussam Al-Batat, Tamir Sayam, Zaid Kunbar, Wissam Abu Ali. That's 4 players at least who would probably be automatic starters for Akram Daboub, the Palestine coach. All missing tonight. Saldana. All over the top for Samir Jundi. Is there late joy here for Palestine? It's not a bad try from the substitute. And Joe Gauchi worried for a moment or two. Useful ball over the top by Saldana. The angle was acute, but Samir Jundi was not too far away. Yep, that's how close it was, Arnie. as it is. Joe Gauci looks as though he's going to complete a third clean sheet in just 4 internationals. And Australia on track for 11 clean sheets in the last 13. Check of the watch from the Saudi official. This is probably going to be the last attack. It's Mustafa Zidane and Irvine, and then across the face of goal, and Zidane is then offside. There's a little bit of an inquest going on in the Australian back line between Gauci and Burgess. Probably about Gauci's decision to play out in the first place under pressure, but it all matters not, because that is the full-time whistle, and Australia have cruised to victory. 6 from 6 for the Socceroos in their 600th match. They complete a clean sweep in round 2 and make it 18 consecutive wins at this stage of qualifying. Sterner tests await, but the job has been done here in Perth. 3 first-half goals, 2 for Kusini Yangi, 1 for the penalty spot, 1 for Adam Taggart, and 2 after the break, attacking the shed end of the ground. Martin Boyle, who also claimed 2 assists, getting his name on the score sheet before Nestori Irankunda wrapped it up after a handball by Yasser Hamad, who gave away both penalties for Palestine. A very satisfying night at the office for the Socceroos. Full time in Perth. Australia 5, Palestine 0.
A solid performance here at HBF Park in WA. The Socceroos returned back to the West for the first time in 8 years. We bid Nestori Irankunda farewell, and we saw the theatrics and we saw the flips here tonight, converting the final pen and putting the icing on the cake, Jacob Burns and Stan Lazaridis, of what was a really solid and, in the end, a strong performance against Palestine.
Yeah, look, Arnie and the boys are going to be very happy. That was a polished performance. Palestine are no easy team. We knew that from the first game, where they were probably the better side. But to make 9 changes, to put in a performance like that with a lot of young guys coming in, handing out debuts and goals coming from all over the park is a positive sign.
What pleased you the most about what you saw on the park tonight, Stan?
Yeah, look, I like Taggart up front with Yangi. Not being biased, but I thought the 2 worked really well. And again, just echoing, a nice polished performance. The changes in the back line, the guys did well. Chikati, so all round a lot of positives.
I like the way you mentioned Chikati and the changes we saw in the back line, right? It was a brand new back 4. Selection headaches for me, Chikati and Cam Burgess. I know it was Chikati's second cap only. We know he's been playing at the top flight and it will be Serie A next season. Those 2 are class.
Absolutely. I mean, they showed a very composed performance. When you're dominating teams like that here at home, you've always got to be worried in transition. Burgess and Ali did so well, but I really like the way they stepped in with the ball. Me and Stan were talking about it off air, about the range of passing, the direct play, the range that they showed, both short and long, fantastic.
Yeah, no, and as we're just talking about Chikati, it's his weight of pass, nice direction, puts them through passes, got the blocks in, and overall Bacchus also had a really good game with Jackson Irvine in the middle. Overall, really, really good.
It was great as well, right? If we forgot what the players could do, Matt Leckie was industrious. Martin Boyle played the house down, assists, goals to his name as well, and these are players that have been sitting out for a little while. And if I'm Graham Arnold, I'm thinking, look, as we head into our final phase of qualifying, fingers crossed, if they finish top 2 in the group of 6 teams, then it is Qatar locked in. But it's nice to have those headaches.
You want that. We spoke about it earlier. How do you create depth in your national side? One part of that is players playing, over in Europe for their clubs regularly at the top level. We spoke about that. We've seen now today there's some young guys really stepping up and really trying to grab that shirt with both hands.
Well, let's get some more reaction right now with Andy Harper. Harps, over to you.
Obviously it's working, so the squad as a whole is really gelling well.
Congratulations, big night, hey?
No, and obviously good result for the boys, and you know, a fantastic performance at home. So it means a lot to do it here in Perth, and yeah, just couldn't be happier.
Any sort of special feeling amongst all the West Oz boys who took the field tonight, and then for you to score that goal?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we had 4 or 5 boys who are at least from here or have a connection. So I think it was important for us to represent the the WA families, and obviously bring a good performance here to Perth. So obviously all over the moon, and happy we could represent Perth in a positive way.
An unbelievable A-League men's season for you last campaign, and has it really reinvigorated your belief of a longer-term commitment and contribution possibly for the Socceroos?
Yeah, absolutely. I think coming back from Japan, it was one of those to sort of get back to enjoy my football and playing regularly, and it was a fantastic year, and really enjoyed myself, although there was obviously some challenging times as a team. So I think that's definitely reignited my passion and motivation for the national team, and after being back in the last 2 camps, I've really enjoyed it, and I think just tonight to have it here in Perth, it means the world to me. So it's definitely pushed that motivation a little bit further, and I'm excited to keep cracking on.
It looked fun out there tonight. Great conditions, beautiful pitch, plenty of space in which to play as well, and a lot of good ball movement. Did it feel like that to you as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think fun's probably the perfect word to put it. It looked like everyone was enjoying themselves. I've definitely enjoyed myself tonight. I thought we created some really good chances, took them really well, and like you said, perfect conditions, good crowd here in Perth, and I think we all just really enjoyed ourselves.
Well, after everything you've contributed locally, I think I speak on behalf of everyone. Congratulations. A great feeling for all for you to get that goal in front of your home crowd tonight. Well done to you.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
It was a great night out for Adam Taggart. His first goal in the green and gold for nearly 5 years. His first international goal here at home. Stan, I loved that combo and the interplay between Martin Boyle and Adam Taggart. Question mark, Boyley has been linked to Perth Glory, and I mean, who could possibly have the scoop on this? I would love to see these two play.
Yeah, I could do it.
Week in, week out for Perth Glory.
Yeah, look, and I will throw Yengi in that triangle. The interconnection of the passing was excellent for me, and there seemed like a nice synergy between them. There was like intuition, and Taggart unselfish as well. But overall, as we were saying, selection headaches for Arnie, and it's a good thing.
I like the way you brushed off my comment around Martin Boyle potentially being connected and linked to Perth Glory. Could we possibly see that happen?
Well, I'd love him here, of course, but there's agents and there's all sorts, and but no, Boyle's a great player, and so I'm sure he's welcome here anytime, Tara.
Laz would have to sell one of his houses.
Oh, no.
I like that. Lots of smiles from Jacob Burns as well. We're off to a short break here. What a night it was at HBF Park. 5-0 against Palestine. The Socceroos, 22 goals conceded, zip on this road to qualifying to the Qatar World Cup. We're off to a short break. More coming up on the other side. Welcome back to the Socceroos v Palestine live in Perth. They return back for the first time in 8 years, and what an emphatic result it was tonight. 5-0 Cassini Yengi, but wasn't he in the action? The hometown hero as well, and Adam Taggart. Nestori Irankunda, just the icing on the cake. The acrobatics, we saw it all before we send the Adelaide boy on his way to Bayern Munich. No biggie, just to play in the Bundesliga, and we're joined by Socceroos coach Graham Arnold. Now, Arnie, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us. Yeah. Wow, what about that tonight? What a way to end up the final qualifiers before you head into round 3. What has pleased you the most about what you've seen in the last 2 games for your side?
Look, Tara, it's been mainly the depth that we've been creating, and we've been doing it for 4 out of the 6 years I've been in charge, and I know how important it is from the days that these guys played that we had depth. And everyone probably panicked when I made 8 or 9 changes, but as I said publicly, I think that if we played 11 v 11, 2 teams, it'd be a very tough game for either team to win, and that's what it's all about.
Arnie, talk to me about some of the challenges, obviously coming off the back of Bangladesh, then coming just surfaces alone, how different that is to the players and how that levels the kind of playing field when you're coming up against these countries.
Yeah, and Jake, we went to Bangkok. We got a couple of days in Bangkok to acclimatise, and thank God we had that, where it wasn't... and I've got to give full credit to the boys, and I appreciate it so much because their seasons are finished, they're on holidays, and they came 3 or 4 days earlier to acclimatise and get ready for the Bangladesh game, and that just shows you the culture that we've got and, you know, the brotherhood that is there.
Yeah, Anna, I just want to talk about Alessandro Ciccardi's performance tonight. Big call, letting him in, obviously in front of his home crowd. How did you feel he went?
I thought he was sensational. He's a kid, he's 20, but he's probably one of the most mature 20-year-olds I've coached ever. You don't have to give him too much detail. He knows exactly what to do. He's calm under pressure. And look, I spoke to him about 3 months ago and I said, I am picking you for this window, but I want your debut to be at Perth in front of your mum, your dad, your family and friends. And I thought he was outstanding tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was hard to fault, really, any players who were in that starting 11 for you and the players that came on and were game changers. We're going to take a look at the goals now, but Cassini Yengi, right, like when we're looking at these attacking players, how direct you like to play, you have got some selection headaches now. When you say it's 11 v 11 and anyone's going to give it a red-hot crack, Cassini Yengi seems like he's in the form of his life for the Socceroos. 4 goals in 3 games, but everyone played their part up top.
And Tara, I think he's only going to get better by playing in the Championship now, from League One up to the Championship, where he's going to play all year round in the Championship. And as I said, you know, we're still creating and building, and I think again he'll only get better.
And what about players like Boyley? It was great to see Matt Leckie hadn't been back for nearly 12 months or so. He was so industrious, gave it his all out there. And, you know, it was a nice reminder because you've watched him play domestically here, but to see him back in the green and gold and then Boyley on the other side, it was like, hello, where have you been as well?
Yeah. Well, Boyley missed 11 on games through injury, concussion. Lex missed the Asian Cup through injury, and Lex has had a pretty tough year at Melbourne City with injuries, but he showed me tonight he's still got it. He's still got the hunger, he's still got the desire to be here and do what is required to play for the Socceroos. And I'm just saying his leadership, his age, but leadership is so crucial to these younger boys.
Nestor, you're in Kunda talking about the younger boys. What has it been like having Nestor into the squad and in the environment, Arnie?
I honestly think he learnt his backflip off Stan Lazaridis.
Is that right?
We were talking about how much our backs hurting just watching that.
Yeah, that hurts just watching it.
I have to say, Arnie, I love the shape that you're playing at the moment. You've got weapons, left side, right side, Rustic in behind. You've got so many problems up front of who you pick, and it's more of a forward attacking style that you're doing now.
Well, I just think that we need 2 nines.
Right,
I think playing with 1 9, you know, especially with a young one like Cass, to have some experience around him as well, but playing with 2 9s, you know, I know it's old school in a way, but making the centre backs from the opposition play man on man, and with the strength that Cass has got with you know, good delivery, good wide players, and Geordie Boss and these guys. So, yeah, I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, I thought we were watching it and thinking about the movement, particularly from your attacking midfielders and wide players, the headache it was causing Palestine to have that energy going forward, but also having, you know, as you mentioned, Ali Ciccardi and Burgess, who are comfortable to carry that ball and step in.
Yeah.
It causes a big headache for them.
Yeah, of course. And, you know, we were a little bit surprised they started with back 5. You know, that's the first time I've seen them do that. So that pushed them back a little bit more and let us have more time on the ball. But, you know, we've been working a lot before the Asian Cup and even at the Asian Cup and the Lebanon games a lot with the ball and our attacking patterns. And it's just giving the boys the confidence of, come on, you've got the skill. You individually, you've got what it takes, so back yourself.
Is that the key, Arnie, with these young, exciting players coming through, having that balance of experience, kind of leadership in there? You kind of always juggling where that's got to be?
100%, Jake. You know, I think if you have too many young ones, then mistakes happen and they can fall apart. I think the most important thing is the older players with their leadership. That's why I played Jackson Irvine twice to back him up. We need his leadership on the pitch. You know, Cam Burgess we mightn't have had many caps at the back, you know, in terms of the amount they've played, but Cam Burgess is 28 and he's going in the Premier League next year, and as I said, he'll get better and better.
And don't forget Taggart.
I'm not forgetting.
Look after him, will you?
Okay, Stan,
when he went down, Stan's heart was in his throat. Don't worry about that. Get up, Taggart, please.
Well, get him off. He said, get
That's
him
why I
off.
took him off. He wanted to go back on. I said, Stan Lazaridis has come to me and said, you have to come off.
Get him off, get him off. So, Arnie, we've wrapped up this phase 2. You'd say 22 goals scored, 0 conceded, and your 6 matches played. The competition's only going to get tougher. Kicks off in September. So what does it look like from now until then for you? Because that runs until June the following year.
No, Tara, I'm going to have a good break, to be honest. I've had a hectic 6 months, and the boys need a good break. They're going, you know, what's important for us is what they're doing with their pre-seasons at their clubs. Some boys in the next, you know, probably 4 weeks with transfers or change of clubs is important. So, you know, we'll get ourselves ready for September, and I'm going to the draw on the 27th, and the fingers will be crossed that we get some better nations for us to play against and get the boys ready. And as I said, it's, you know, there's 10 players that weren't here with injuries. Matty Ryan and Riley McGree and these guys. And Nathaniel Atkinson and Silvera I left out because of the yellow card situation. So it's only positive, the future.
Well, we're wishing you all the best. We'll see you back in action while we'll be watching with bated breath for the draw. We'll see you back in action come September. Thanks so much, Arnie.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, best of luck, of course. And let's get some reaction now here from Martin Boyle.
Well, Martin Boyle, that was a reasonably successful night at the office.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. Good game, good result. Lots of goals. I think could have moved the ball a little bit better, a bit more tempo, speed, and obviously created a lot of chances. But yeah, we're happy to get to the next qualifying phase.
It looked fun. It looked like people were fresh. Playing on a good surface probably helped. Movement was excellent. Ball speed was good. Did it feel like that to you, or did it just look that way to us?
Yeah, obviously we want to do much better than we did. Like I say, I thought we were a bit sloppy in spells, but I think the attacking transition was really good today. I don't think I played my best, but look, I'm happy to contribute. You know, I've set high standards for myself, and you know, I'm happy to get on the score sheet as well. But yeah, look, credit, the pitch is brilliant, and the result was the main thing.
Palestine have built a campaign through the Asian Cup and then World Cup qualifying on being really difficult to break down, and a team against which scoring has been incredibly difficult. You made a mockery of that tonight. What do you put that down to?
Yeah, they're well compact. Like I say, we've been working hard. We made a lot of changes. There was a lot of fresh faces, and there's a lot of competition for places, so everyone wants to be in the squads and be part of it. So that's probably the main thing. Obviously, we struggled away. It was only 1-0, but you know, obviously playing in front of the home support, it was a fantastic result.
Now, there is talk, Martin Boyle, that Perth Glory is circling for your signature. Are people taking liberties, or is this the first we're going to see you on HBF Park in front of your new fans at the Shed?
Like I said, I done an interview the other day. It was speculation. Look, I'm still contracted with Hibs. We'll see what happens when I go back to the club. I'm going to enjoy a few weeks off, but we'll see what the future holds. But like I say, fantastic place, fantastic arena, and like I say, the fans were incredible.
You can clear this up for us, though. It has been reported that it is one of your career goals to play in the A-League, or is that speculation too?
Yeah, I've said it years ago. I'd love to play a year or two and, you know, give everything I've got. You know, I think in terms of since I've been in this setup, they've gave me a lot of trust, and I feel like if I can come out here and play my trade, then, you know, I'm giving a little bit back.
Well, congratulations to you and the team. Fantastic performance tonight, top of the group, and now to stage 3. Well done.
Thank you very much, appreciate that. Thank you.
Boyley, tags, lifelong dream to play in the A-League. Back here at Perth. We saw the glimpses. Ooh.
Yeah, I like him.
He's reaching into his pockets trying to rattle around some changes.
Oh, look, I love him here, of course. Quality player, link up with tags, but, you know, we'll continue the conversation.
See how it plays
Yeah,
out.
see how it goes.
Yeah.
Is he saying he's had the conversation?
What's
Continue
it?
the conversation.
Continue.
Yeah.
We got you there. We got you there. There's a scoop. Continue the conversation, but nothing concrete yet. We know that Martin Boyle has a year left on his contract at Hibs, but would he like to come back to Oz? Yes, he would. Is Stan the man that can do it? Yes, he is. Let's get some more reaction now here from Alessandro Giaccardi.
Well, Alessandro Giaccardi, welcome home. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's great to be home. Thanks to everyone who obviously come to the stadium. It's great to see lots of familiar faces about, so yeah.
Perth boy, Glory Junior, you come back onto the turf as a fully fledged Socceroo and Serie A aspirant now. How life changes, hey? Must feel amazing.
Yeah, everything's changed quite quickly. I actually never got to play in this stadium. This was actually my first game. I've had a couple of training sessions here, so obviously, you know, it's just great to play in your hometown stadium, and even better to obviously playing for the Socceroos as well. So yeah, obviously it's been a great year for me. You know, everything has changed quite quickly, and I hope obviously things continue to change positively for me.
So what's the word of Clubland for you? What are the discussions out of last season, getting ready for next season? There's no time really between seasons from clubs getting organised. So what have the communications been like, and what's going to be expected next year?
Yeah, obviously now we have our time off, you know, they leave us alone, they're not harassing us. But obviously we know our expectations is to obviously stay in the league and obviously do well, because we have a team to do well. We have a lot of young players and a lot of good players as well who have a great possibility to do great things in their career. So, you know, the message from the club is clear, obviously, to stay in the league, do well. Also, not just to be safe, but also to do well. So, yeah.
And so the combination, the connection between club form, players playing in top leagues, back to the Socceroos, it really turns the dial up competition-wise for places. Is that the sense you've had in this camp?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, even here, we've got a lot of competition. Obviously, I reckon we've got two squads that can play comfortably in the Asian Cup qualifications. I think we have, you know, 25 players who can play comfortably, who can start comfortably, and they see it when you see subs come on and do well, and that, you know, that just proves it.
You look superb tonight, playing next to your West Oz mate. Must have been a proud night for the Sandgropers here.
Yeah, I haven't spoken to Cam yet, but I'm sure, you know, before the game we're both happy. Obviously, first game playing with each other, and you know, I think it looked like we were playing already a year together, but I guess that's just the, you know, West Australian connection.
Congratulations to you. All the best for your off-season, and we look forward to seeing how you go next year.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I like the way he attributed it to the state. It's the West Australian connection, but he was right. It was his second Socceroos cap team, and he came through here when you were here, Burnsy, in terms of coaching. So cool, so composed. Him and Burgess look like they've been playing alongside each other for over a year. Sorry, that wasn't a second cap performance for mine.
Absolutely not. And what a fantastic night for his family. He's from a wonderful family. His dad, as we spoke about before, was a professional player with Parma. Just, you know, really proud of seeing a young guy, and it speaks volumes for the development that Australian football clubs are doing, to be able to send him over there and establish himself and get promotion into the Serie A is no mean feat. You know, he's an incredible player, and really proud of him tonight.
And just on that, Burnsy, I think what I love about him, he gives the team balance.
Yeah.
He's different from the other defenders. His release of his pass, it's not just a hoof up the park. He hits it in a really good technique. For me, he's the kind of one that's coming. And he mentioned there, like, it's almost like the second 11 are as good, and there's no such thing now as a second team. So for me, a really polished performance tonight.
I like that, because I think about that centre-back pairing, and I think, oh, how can you deny that Giaccardi's not
He's technically
starting?
really, really good. He's a technically really good player.
What a classy player. All right, we're off to a short break. We're going to wrap it all up on the other side. Don't forget the Australia Cup draw live on 10 Play on June 19th, and the final rounds of qualifying, they continue in Darwin. We'll see you soon.
Swings in the cross, teasing for Milejuznic. Give it away here, Taggart, shoot on sight. Oh, Taggart! Moragas, he gets there, the ball in, Stamatolopoulos with Danzaki. He shoots, oh, he arrows it into the bottom corner.
It was a welcome return home home as in Perth for the Socceroos, the first time in 8 years that they're here, and 5-0 the result tonight against Palestine. And well, some selection headaches to Graham Arnold. He made 8 changes across the board here tonight, and everyone got involved on the action. Some returning faces and, of course, a debut as well. So to get some more reaction, let's throw it back over to Andy Harper.
Apostolos Stamatolopoulos, you're now a Socceroo. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, over the moon. It's a good feeling.
How did the game feel to you? That time you came on, the team had clearly won the football match. Was that a help for you, or would you rather have had to go in and really fight and make an impression that way?
No, whenever I have to come on, I have to come on. Whenever Arnie wants me to come on and do a job, I have to do that job. So yeah, I'm just over the moon that I made my debut. A little bit of adrenaline when I came on, but it was good.
A lot of Adelaide boys in the team when you took the field. Is that any sort of help for you at all?
Yeah, of course. I mean, growing up with a lot of the boys, playing with them through youth teams and at Adelaide United, it's a big help coming into a camp where basically don't know anyone really. So for me, they were a great help.
You returned to the A-League. You've had 1 season back since your stint overseas. When you arrived at Newcastle, was the national team even on your radar?
Look, to be honest, the only thing that was on my radar when I came back was just putting games back to back and putting the ball in the back of the net. And I knew that if I could do that consistently, that this would eventually come. And yeah, it definitely came a lot sooner than what I expected. And I'm just, yeah, incredibly proud to wear the Australian jersey.
So you've established a great foundation now of consistent level through the Jets, now into the Socceroos. What more can fans expect from Apostolos Stamatolopoulos?
For me, just goals, putting the ball in the back of the net. I feel like that's my game. That's what I'm good at. And I mean, obviously, I've got other parts of my game that I need to work on. So hopefully, in the coming seasons, I can bring that into my game as well.
News breaking today that the Newcastle Jets ownership situation has been solved, yet to be ratified, but the news has broken that the new owners will take over. What changes are you expecting, and then how much more can you lift your own performance with, theoretically, a more stable background?
Yeah, I think, look, we can't really expect anything from our owners. We don't know them yet, so I mean, it's great that they've came in and they've given us stability. I think that's what and the Newcastle Jets fans have been missing for a really long time, so it's great to finally have that.
Well, congratulations. That's a huge personal milestone for you and thoroughly deserved. Well done.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Cheers.
It's been a breakout season for Apostolos Stamatolopoulos, Socceroo cap number 644 tonight. And I just wonder, team, yes, there's some stability coming. Burnsy to Newcastle. What does the future look like? How does Apostolos become a player? It doesn't need to be a starting player, but to be consistently picked and selected in this Socceroo side.
Well, to keep doing what he's been doing. First off, what a special moment for himself. Yeah. You know, we all remember, Stan, when you play your first game for Australia, it's the most special time in your career to put on that green and gold shirt. So it's a lot of people behind him, his family and everyone else. He's been fantastic all season. He's just got to keep on doing what he does well and scoring.
He's a goal scorer. He's got to get the service. He works tremendously hard. He's a forward-pressing striker. And for me, he's got energy to burn, and he'll partner the other guys really well. He's one of those that is the perfect fit.
He is the perfect fit. Well, we see him called back into the squad come September when the third round of qualifiers kick off, with the goal being Qatar and the World Cup. So much football heading your way live across Network 10 and Paramount Plus. This to look forward to. The Winter Festival of Football begins July 21st with Wrexham v Bournemouth. You can catch that live and exclusive on Paramount Plus. And of course, you've got to gear up. We've got the Australia Cup heading your way, the Australia Cup draw. We'll keep our eyes and ears for news on who the Socceroos are going to draw with what comes next in their hopefully final round. There's 18 teams qualifying from Asia. If they finish second in their group of 6, then it is the World Cup that does beckon. Jacob Bernstein, Lazaridis, thank you so much for your company tonight. It was great to be here in Perth.
Thank you, Tara. It's great to be here.
Thank you, Tara.
Always great to come out west. Thank you so much for joining us. The Socceroos wrap up this round of qualifiers. 6 matches played, 22 goals scored and 0 conceded. And we wrap it up and say farewell from a fantastic evening here in WA, home to the best wine regions, the quokkas, the wildlife, the pristine beaches. Take a look at that. I don't want to go home. I think I might just stay here. Thanks so much for your company tonight. Socceroos got it done. 5-0. We'll see you very soon. Good night.